Hi Scorpios, friends, families, yes, and cross watchers. Welcome to Bear's Touch Intuitive. Today's Monday, October 9th, and I'm going to do a reading for just the energies of this week. I wanted to start it out with a quote from The Secret of the Golden Flower. It's an alchemy text from ancient China that was translated by Richard Wilhelm and co-authored by Carl Jung. So let's jump right in. Phenomena of the Way. Commentary by C.G. Jung. I have often been reproached for personifying the anima and animus as mythology does, but this reproach would be justified only if it were proven that in my psychological use of these terms, I concretize them in the same way that mythology does. I must declare once and for all that the personification is not an invention of mine, but is inherent in the nature of the phenomena. It would be unscientific to overlook the fact that the anima is a psychic, and therefore a personal, autonomous system. None of the people who make the charge against me would hesitate a second to say I dream of Mr. X, whereas, strictly speaking, he only dreamed of the representation of Mr. X. The anima is nothing but a representation of the personal nature of the autonomous system in question. What the nature of this autonomous system is, in a transcendental sense, that is to say, beyond the boundaries of experience, we cannot know. Ooh, okay. I'm going to read one more sentence just to finish that out. I have defined the anima in man as a personification of the unconscious in general, and have therefore taken it to be a bridge to the unconscious. That is, to be the function of relationship to the unconscious. There is an interesting point in our text in this connection. The text says that the consciousness, that is, personal consciousness, comes from the anima. Since the Western mind is based wholly on the standpoint of consciousness, it must define anima in the way that I have done. But the East, based as it is on the standpoint of the unconscious, sees consciousness as an effect of the anima. Without a doubt, consciousness originally arises out of the unconscious. Okay, so this is a really interesting quote to start things out with. Essentially, Carl Jung is saying that, like, from the Western standpoint, we operate from the perspective of everyone as an individual, establishing their ego identity in our sort of social construct of the world by, making their way through the rat race, like up the ladder, the chain of like command, into a place where somebody is like venerated for their own grandiose accomplishments, or what it is that they've contributed as an individual, or accomplished as an individual. Whereas in the East, the individuals are only as important as their like community. They arise from their community, and to like put the importance of the individual before the community is to like basically bite the hand that feeds you. From a like psychological perspective, the one that he's talking about regarding the anima and animus, if we're just talking about like just even how the brain works, the subconscious is like 95% of what we know, or 99% of what we like experience, right? We're kind of in our pre-programmed state. We see things that we expect to see. We miss things that we don't expect to see a lot of the time. And we walk around quite often without having done the shadow work, experiencing reflections of our projections on other people, or vice versa, right? And vice versa. Other people experience us as a reflection of their projections, their unconscious material. So the idea, there's this documentary on Netflix called, oh my gosh, A Trip to Infinity. And it talks about how there's this one like thought experiment about an apple. And the guy says, picture an apple in a void. And then over time, right, this apple begins to decay and rot, and the rot and the decay becomes dust. And after a long period of time, that dust becomes nuclear material, and that nuclear material becomes like energy, and that energy becomes something else, and then basically the apple in the void goes through this huge transformation where in all the iterations of time and space in this void, eventually it becomes an apple again. And it could become anything really. Like, I think some of the things they showed were like a banana or a clock or like, I don't know if this is making sense, but essentially the isness of a person's experience, that point of individuation, is like the nuclear material seeing itself as the apple and then becoming it. So you're this week sort of like experiencing, I think, an evolution of your unconscious material that's bringing you out of the like mirror room of your projections and showing you instead, 5:55 on the timer, big changes, showing you instead the apple that you are, like your essence, that thing that is apple in all time and space, in all iterations of you, like projections, unconscious material, sort of like, it's almost like you've been in this mirror room for so long that you've become like so familiar with all of these projections or iterations of your like life cycles. Maybe you believe in multiple life cycles, that you're realizing your essence. That's really trippy. Okay, so that was a specific message for somebody, I think. Let me know if that resonates. We're already 6 minutes in and I've just been reading and talking this whole time. So welcome to the tarot reading. Spirit, what does Scorpio need to know about this, like, embracing the essence of their isness this week? This one wants to come out. The Nine of Cups reversed. In this deck, it's vulnerability. She's like shedding light on her heart and like the pain in her heart, but it's reversed. So it could be that somebody else is giving you an explanation of like their experience of you. We have the Eight of Cups. In this deck, it's the Eight of Water. There's two dolphins on either side of this gentleman here, and there's a full moon in the background, and both of his chakras, I call these the 8th and 9th chakras, but all of his chakras are open, unaligned, and then both of his chakras on his hands are open as well. So he's able to create and receive. Bottlenose dolphins are, I think, the second most intelligent animal after orangutans. And what I love about dolphins, right, is their ability to like echolocate, and then they also have like intricate rituals, like marriage rituals. The male will find this like seaweed and give it to the female and stuff. They're really interesting animals, really interesting creatures. Also, there's a lunar eclipse coming up on October 28th, so the full moon will potentially be very important for you this month. Okay, I think this is the Ten of Air. Both of these cards came out reversed, and the Eight of Earth reversed. So this is fertility, this is the work, this is you basically reaping what you've sown. What I'm seeing with these cards coming out reversed, she's walking through a doorway with her like angel wings, and her perspective has been like her third eye and her higher self, like the one in her 8th chakra, is essentially like able to manifest and see the potential, and she walks through this door transformed. Both of these are reversed, so it's very likely in this reading that you're getting a message from somebody else about you and how they've seen you, but you're kind of in this space, like enlightened as to like your joy. Yeah, aligned, able to, with the moon and the dolphins and their like ability to echolocate, like you're able to intuit other people's sort of subconscious stuff and their projections very clearly, almost like almost, I want to say almost telepathically, like you get pictures or images or sounds, like maybe you're psychic or clairvoyant, or you're experiencing like clairaudience or something. This one fell out. Okay. So you have the Queen of Fire. I love that she has this cat here. Instead of like a lion. So she's the Queen of Wands, right? She's beautiful. She looks good. She feels good. There's these peacock feathers kind of denoting her like ability to understand what it is she's doing when she displays herself. Like she's very aware of her display is what's coming out. Like maybe you're in the limelight somehow, or you're aware of the ego mask that you put on in order to interact with others every day. Like you're aware that your ego is a mask at all times is what's coming through, and you make it beautiful, because you understand that that's like just like a necessary part of our existence. And then you have the Father reversed. So 5, the Father, I think is the Emperor in this deck. He's holding a sun wand. He has antlers. There's this like trinity with an eye open in the background here. And then there's a mountain lion, which I think is really interesting because mountain lions generally talk about the divine feminine, but of course he's a super masculine figure. I'd like to read this card actually. Fatherhood, leadership, authority, protection, responsibility, guidance, support, compassion, and control. Right, okay, so reversed. It suggests attitudes toward gender roles may need an update. The time when the father was sole lord and master of his domain is long past. Today that rule is shared. No longer are the set roles of the father and mother within the household. A committed union between two loving people is a partnership in which all responsibilities and duties are shared, and not in a gender-specific manner. It is just as much the man's role to keep the house in a clean and ordered state as it is a woman's. If you are a man receiving this card reversed and the dishes need doing or the ironing is piling up, do not look at your partner to do it. Do it yourself. If you are a woman receiving this card reversed, remember, if the tap washers need changing, do not look to your partner to do it. Do it yourself. If you're a parent with children, make sure to teach your daughters how to mow the lawn, change a tap washer, and fix the car. Teach your sons how to cook, wash their clothes, and clean the house. Avoid assigning children their chores according to gender. A woman's place is no longer in the kitchen cooking the meal or dusting and polishing the furniture. And if you believe it is, then it is an outdated notion of which you should rid yourself. The Father reverse represents gender bias and inequality that is founded in outdated and old-fashioned thinking. You are not Lord and Master. You share rule. You share the responsibility for performing all tasks and duties, not just the ones you enjoy. It is time to put gender bias aside. If you have a habit of assigning duties and responsibilities on a gender basis, it is time to desist. Whoa. So regarding the anima and the animus at the beginning of this reading, I think the anima is usually the male expression of the unconscious, and then the animus is the female. I could be wrong. If you know better, please let me know. Let's see here. This is interesting because we have this vulnerable female in reverse, and then like you're in your masculine energy, whether you're male or female, you're fully aligned in your divine masculine energy with this 8 of water here. This is a female reverse, You also in your divine feminine energy, like you may be feminine, like biologically, and then like presenting as a divine masculine, like you might be a masculine feminine kind of. I think that's how I come off sometimes, but I'm not sure. Again, like this cat usually represents the female, and then we have this divine male with the sun wand or the solar expression, usually associated with male or like the god Ra. So we're gonna get some clarification for this reading because I'm really enjoying the sort of, like, I'm not a psychologist by any means. I just like to read like Carl Jung stuff a lot, but this is like a really, you might be a psychologist or a therapist. You might be into like depth psychology or like critical thinking or something. I don't know. This, what's coming through here is like, it's somebody who's kind of gone through the, I'm hearing like through the iterations of like your gender roles. Maybe you're transitioning from, maybe you're transitioning from male to female or female to male. And this is you kind of embracing your transition. Or maybe the people around you also like sort of expressing to you how they feel about it, or that's certainly coming through. I have never experienced that in a reading before. Ooh, happiness coming out sideways, the Nine of Cups on top of the Queen of Fire and the Ten of Air, which is in the traditional tarot, the Ten of Swords. I want to read this Ten of Air reversed. The Ten of Air reversed represents one who allows others' thoughts and opinions to define and shape them. Whoa. Instead of moving forward and becoming an independent being, they have allowed others to determine their path and shape their reality. They would become afraid to think or speak for themselves and instead allow others to dominate. They do so because they are afraid of the great unknown and of what life will bring if they choose to defy convention, break with tradition, and stand alone. The Ten of Air reverse signifies a need for this issue to be addressed. It is time for you to grow up and leave home and step through the door into the great unknown. It is time to think for yourself, speak for yourself, and determine your own direction. The future longs to greet you, but it cannot if your present is being determined by everyone else but you. And then the Queen of Fire follows. She's warm, vibrant, sexual, sensual, independent, primal, expansive, and energetic. Yeah, so this is asking you to step through the doorway with these qualities like warmth, vibrance, you're embracing your sensuality, your sexuality, your independence, and your primal, like, intuitive nature. Be expansive and energetic. Be a leader in your own life. Seek out Queen of Fire types to, like, help you find this, like, anima, like, bring that stuff up from the subconscious that you need to, like, step into this quality of yourself. Definitely strongly coming through somebody, like, maybe experiencing a transition. And it looks like you might be getting, I'm hearing, like, pushback from your father with this father at the end, or a father figure, or even an internalized, like, divine masculine, or, you know, the patriarchy, whatever. And then this is telling me with the Eight of Earth, like, reversed, that you have a supportive female around you, or a supportive divine female energy, whether she's actually female or not, who is helping you get through this work. Yeah, this is you. This card reverse is you coming out to others and feeling aligned finally. And this is you experiencing the blowback maybe. And your happiness is through this doorway. That's why it fell out over these two cards. Your happiness is in you embracing this Queen of Wands power for yourself in your life. Okay, wow, that's... Abundance reversed, the Three of Cups reversed. So you've definitely experienced a parting from your community. Princess of Cups reversed. The Fool and the Moon. Whoa. Coming out on top of these. Abundance, the Princess of Cups reversed, the Fool, and the Moon. What you don't see is that the community that you're going to be building after you step through this doorway is going to be your soul community. What you don't see is the happiness that is going to manifest for you. What you don't see is that this new journey is one you're already on, by having aligned yourself with that Eight of Cups position. So you go from the Eight of Cups, clarified by the Princess of Cups reversed and the Fool, to the Eight of Earth, Three of Cups reversed, and the Moon. Again with the Moon and the Moon. The Moon cycle's here this month. The eclipse magic might be really important for you, or some sort of like lunar eclipse ritual. 2020 on the clock. There's a woman who does readings. Oh, what is her channel called? Sacred Knowledge Tarot. She does full moon rituals, and she hosts them on her channel. So if you wanted to follow somebody who does a full moon ritual this month, you might check in with her. She has a really sweet energy. Yeah, especially with this Queen of Fire, like somebody who's looking good, feeling good, smelling good kind of energy, like aligning with that sort of feminine presence might be very helpful for you during this moon. Also, today is Columbus Day. In my, what do I have? In my, it's a calendar, like a calendar that I have. There's all these little sayings, and it's called Columbus effing sucked day in there. And yesterday was Indigenous Peoples Day, in a place near me, in my state, in my county. So we went to Indigenous Peoples Day, and I know a lot of like Two-Spirit Indigenous people. This come up occasionally in readings I've done for this collective. You might be Native, you might be Two-Spirit, you might be just embracing this for yourself, or looking towards traditions, especially like older traditions that embraced Two-Spirit energy, and realizing that like the ostracization of Two-Spirit people is actually more of a modern concept than I think many of us have been led to believe. Virtue reversed. On top of this Doorway reversed and the Queen of Fire. Why is this coming out for Scorpio? Oh my gosh. This is a big old stack. I'm not going to take all of these. Okay. So we have threes, we have sixes, and eights. Interesting. We have pleasure. The Sun in Scorpio coming out. Six of Cups. So you might be indulging right now, like a little bit in your cups, overindulging. You might be waiting for that Sun in Scorpio season at the end of this month, like Scorpio season. I think is going to be a really good season for you, coming up at the end of this month. Victory, Six of Wands, with this Queen of Fire. I almost feel like you might be dealing with, so this is the Sun in Aries here. Leo. Ace of Wands. With Indolence at the bottom and a Wild card. Interesting. Okay, I'm feeling the need to put this deck back. So what I'm seeing with this is that you may have like started something like a while ago that you forgot about. Some sort of creation, or I'm getting kind of blindsided by this energy here, and I might be picking up on somebody else's energy now, but I'm seeing like you started something a while ago that's just now coming to fruition, and it's like bringing you, like you're already in a place of feeling pleasure, or you're getting to a place where you're feeling pleasure because of like getting out of this community, or leaving this community behind, or realizing that you're starting a new community, and that's like the unseen, this rebirth energy of the moon here. There's the dogs of Anubis on either side, and then a scarab beetle that's bringing this like dung up through this, what essentially looks like a birth canal, into the light to create new life. So it's like you're feeling a sense of a little bit of like being turned inside out, and you're actually like happy about it, which I mean could definitely relate to somebody in transition here. But this happiness kind of goes sideways at some point this month. Because of this, it might be a Queen of Wands or Queen of Fire figure for you who like is waiting on the other side of this doorway, or is like preventing you from stepping through this doorway, I'm hearing. Because there are claims that you've done this in like a manner that was not virtuous somehow. I don't even know what that implies, except that there's this Ace of Wands here. And the Ace of Wands, while it typically like can indicate super creative energy, like your vitality, your kundalini, your expression of yourself in this world, it can also imply sexuality. And this wild card here, it's like, it's almost like, oh, I see. In you claiming your victory through accepting this like sexuality, or this like what it is that brings you pleasure and happiness. With Pisces here, you might be dealing with a Pisces. It's like, yeah, tradition. It's like you're locked in tradition still, or somebody else is locked in tradition here, or you haven't quite stepped through the doorway. Or that's what you're thinking, is that you haven't quite stepped through the doorway. But it's like you have already, and it's like you haven't realized it. And on the other side, when you embrace this Queen of Wands energy, it's like you're going to see this divine masculine, or like father, or internalized like patriarchal figure in a different light. Or even like an external patriarchal figure is going to like approach you, and you're not seeing this coming. I think that's this like wild card with the vitality here. I think it's going to be revealed. Pisces again. That this person, this person has been emotionally blocked. See, the thing about the Eight of Cups is that some of these cups are full, some of them are empty, some of them are broken, and it's on these like choppy gray, kind of murky, stormy waters. And there's balance in the Eight of Cups because of the nature of like the 8, right? To signify infinity. We have 888 here. But sometimes those like 4s and those 8s, those like stable cards, it's like they become stagnant after a while. And it's almost like you've introduced something new into that concept of the infinite loop, from like the nuclear material to the apple. It's almost like you've brought something into that essence of you. Like if you've been through multiple life cycles here, or you've been through this life cycle multiple times in order to learn some kind of karma, it's like you figured out how to not only break the karma of that like infinite cycle, or resolve the karma of that infinite cycle, but like to expand it, with this Merkaba here and the rainbow. And that might be through your sexuality, it might be through your creativity. Definitely something to do with your vitality, your vital energy, and a balance of fire and water. There's a lot of fire and water here. There's somebody in your life who's grounded. And the people who are keeping you grounded are also like from these traditions that kept you stagnant. So it's like you're returning back to that from this new point of view, or this new like iteration of yourself, and seeing this male figure in a different light. I'm gonna just pull some tarot. 3024 on the timer. And then I think we'll clarify at the end with an oracle card. Spirit, what does Scorpio need to know about this transformation they're experiencing? Four of Wands. So you might be in a marriage, and this masculine figure might actually be like a husband, somebody you're married to, or a wife. It's possible you embracing a new sexuality is like throwing a loop into this marriage. The Empress. You're nurtured, you're abundant, you're potentially seen as a little bit naive by this, the Emperor figure, Emperor reversed. Somebody who is controlling, for sure. With the Empress and the Emperor, and the marriage card here. Whoa. The Hierophant. Definitely, like a divorce or a separation. This is crazy. I've never seen this lineup before at all. Like, the Four of Wands marriage, 1111, like the doorway again. The Empress, the Emperor reversed, and the Hierophant reversed. That is crazy. What does Scorpio need to know? How does this... advice. We're going to pull advice for Scorpio. What does the Scorpio need to know about the moon again? King of Pentacles, the Devil, the Two of Cups, Ace of Wands reversed. Oh. Two of Pentacles reversed. Ten of Wands reversed. So, yes, you may be in a marriage where somebody wanted you to be in traditional roles, especially with that Ten of Air reversed. Oh, no. It was the 5. It was the card 5 reversed with the male figure and the cat on it, especially with that card coming out reversed, saying like, if you're in traditional roles that aren't working for you, they're not working for you. And this controlling person that you are either married to or are with, they are controlling because they believe they're operating from a point of tradition that like you outgrew like a while ago. And they controlled you to the point where your vitality was being diminished. They may have controlled you through finances or through withholding finances. They may have controlled you because they felt burdened by their own past karma, especially with this Ten of Wands coming out reversed, like back here. It's almost like they married you, or so this card, Ten of Wands, is... that X is also, I think, Gabo. Gabo is the name of the rune for connection, for partnership. And then you have the Two of Pentacles here. And the Roman numeral 2 just looks like the sign of Gemini. So like twin, it might be a twin flame. You have the 1111 card here. It's like somebody used you for your vitality, for your community, for your financial stability, and now they're painting you out to be the devil because you don't want to be locked in these traditional roles, because they want to continue to control you so that they can not have to like change, which has come out before in your readings. Controlling person who doesn't want to change, who wants to keep you around so that they can not have to. We're going to clarify these last 5 cards as your advice. The Devil, the Hierophant, the Two of Cups, and the Moon. It might be a little late to put this card on there, but I'm going to. There's this crystal, Two of Cups. Why is the Two of Cups here with the Hierophant, the Knight of Pentacles? So by leaving this person, or leaving this, it might even be that you're leaving this version of yourself behind, right? Somebody who's locked into this traditional, like, established role of what you think your gender norm should express in the world. You're being given a new material beginning, something grounded, something firm. Oh, that jumped out with 3 of Wands on the bottom. Oh my gosh, Death. Yeah, so, sorry. So, you have Death here, and the candle just blew out, which is really cool. It's a Honeycrisp apple candle, which is just like a good smell for this season. But yeah, the candle just blew out with Death coming out here and this Knight of Pentacles. This situation's done and over with. You're just kind of tying up the loose ends with this Hierophant reversed. The Two of Cups is you in your divine masculine and feminine energy. Oh yeah, we had the 3 of Wands on the bottom of the deck there. This is your ships coming in. You've taken the... I heard somebody interpret this card as a leap of faith, which I thought was a cool interpretation for this card. Because it's almost like with the ships in the background, indicating like commerce or goods on ships. This golden sea back here can be a sea or a desert, and the ships could be stranded in a desert, or they can be seen as approaching at the golden hour. So you're like in the golden hour of your life at the moment, and with this King of Pentacles reversed under the Moon, I think what you're not seeing is that so I'm getting a couple of different things. This person doesn't want the separation, doesn't want the change, because what you don't see is that they're better off than you expected, and they kept you in this state. Because they just kept you in this state. I don't know. Why is the Moon here with the King of Pentacles? Moon with the King of Pentacles. King of Swords. You're in like a no-nonsense energy. Like, you're expressing your truth. You're expressing it face on. Like, this guy is looking straight ahead, holding his sword. He's in blue, indicating communication. And then his cloak, like, so he's crowned, which is the opening of the 7th chakra. Butterfly, like, that's alignment and transformation after alignment on this stone altar. There's a little bit of cloudiness on one side, so, and it's clear over here. So it's like you're facing things head on, realizing like you're kind of in this cloudiness, but things are going to clear up as soon as you express your truth. And this truth is being expressed from a position of love as well, you know, with that pink cloak there. Why is the Moon and the King of Pentacles here? The Lovers reversed. Queen of Wands reversed, Temperance, and the Tower. You may be finding out that the Queen of Wands on the other side of this doorway that was in your first reading, Might be actually somebody else that your person was dealing with. And maybe they were Hangman, 7 of Pentacles for this person. Maybe they were keeping you stuck and bound, or draining your vitality and your finances, and demonizing you in order to give to this person. Especially as she's clarifying the Lovers reversed. This person might be in an energy of temperance now, especially we had that indolence, or the 8 of Cups reversed in the first reading. You might be dealing with a Sagittarius, or this might be coming by Sagittarius season. You're getting some kind of, this person's stuck. They're seeing their grapes on the vine, but their grapes like either aren't ready or they aren't like growing the way they need to be growing. So they're stuck, especially on the moon and the Hierophant. They're stuck because you left, and I think they're not realizing like how much motion and movement you brought to their life. Your ship's coming in, clarified by the Tower, your Scorpio card, and then this Temperance. Nine of Cups reversed again. Five of Swords. And the World jumping out. So with this Nine of Cups reversed, the Five of Swords, the World, Queen of Wands, this person was overindulgent. That's it. Like, this person just basically drew on your vitality, drew on your maybe your ability to manifest. You might be the kind of person who like things come too easily, or like, I don't know, you work with the principles of manifestation, and while you were in this relationship with this person, this controlling person, it's like they came to decide that they were the one who was moving things forward all the time. And what you're not seeing is like, now that you've kind of stepped away from that, they are stuck, and they may be actually realizing that this is like the energy that they've been in, and that they weren't seeing you. Either they weren't seeing you for who you are, or they were like seeing another person, or both. I don't know whose energy I'm picking up on. This is being laid to rest. This person might be in recovery. They might be wanting to bring you a new emotional offer. There are conversations being had. They might be consulting professionals for how to rebuild with you. And if this is a reading and you're not dealing with, for somebody who's not dealing with another person, then this is like, basically you can take those concepts of anima and animus from the beginning of the reading, right, and apply them to your internal masculine and feminine aspects, like your ego versus your higher self, or your subconscious, even for your sort of more like black hat feminine energy versus your like mountain lion feminine energy is what I'm hearing. Like, this is like the conversations being had about you, or the professionals being consulted, might be you going to therapy, for instance. The Page of Cups reversed, if it's, again, for somebody who's not dealing with somebody else, it could be a business offer coming in. It could be you, like, internalizing. What I'm getting actually with this card, which is really specific, is like internalizing the expectations of advertisement on a subconscious level. Like, advertisements a lot of the times are built around like picking on your insecurities for you to buy their product, right? Like you need this or you need that, and like this is you kind of realizing like I don't need this or I don't need that in order to be this authentic version of myself. This is Unrest, Four of Swords reversed. It's Five of Cups reversed. It's like you finally picked up the 2 cups that are left to you. And then the Seven of Cups reversed is like confusion, somebody trying to keep you confused by like cycling through these options. Again, you might have been through multiple cycles or iterations of this, like either karmic cycle or like just this psychic cycle of like just something you were avoiding. Again, we started with projections too, so it could very well be that like the fulcrum around which your projections were being presented out into the world has finally revealed itself through the negative space there. Almost like when we get, like the way we send things out into space, and again, echolocation comes up with the dolphins. You send things out and then what comes back is like, it leaves an imprint, like, or a picture of like what the emanations of like whatever you were sending out, sound or photons or whatever it didn't go through. So like you can see the picture based on the negative space. Like that's what's coming to you, is just this like realization of something that was present inside of you that you did not see before. And it's actually a really good thing. I want to get like clarification. What is this sort of negative space, like fulcrum thing? Sleeplessness, Knight of Cups. Ooh. 3 of Cups. Okay, Jesus. The High Priestess, the Page of Wands. So you saw yourself as a page, but you're a knight. Like, you saw yourself as 5 of Cups, but you're actually the person with the 3 cups. And the other person in this situation is the one who, like, they have cups to pick up and they're just not picking them up. Or they want to, you know, keep doing what they're doing. This other person's super confused. You're clear. You're in your... I think these are, again, strength and... I think it's... strength and intuition. I don't remember again what this is, but so I love the story of Persephone, who is indicated by these pomegranate seeds, because I was listening to a podcast, or a gentleman his channel's called Briefed. It's on YouTube. He also has TikTok, and he talks about like the origins of mythological stories. And Hades is actually the most handsome of his 3 brothers, Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades, right? Or his 2 brothers, but the 3 of them. So he rules the land of the dead. He is he's feared because he's misunderstood. And Persephone, who is the product of Zeus, forcing himself upon, 10 of Pentacles, forcing himself upon Demeter, who is, I think, his daughter, which is totally messed up. Persephone is promised in marriage to Hades, and Demeter is not told about this. So when Zeus gives Persephone to Hades, who is like handsome and actually really kind, and speaking of this whole traditional roles thing, he treats her with respect and equality, which is in this guy's podcast, Briefed. He says that was like unprecedented for the time. So Persephone kind of starts to, like enjoy these circumstances. Chariot reversed. She starts to enjoy these circumstances that she's in, because although she was promised in marriage to a guy who's like misunderstood and seems kind of scary and he's the land of the dead, she becomes the queen of the dead, and she's being treated with respect and with kindness, and she's like, this is like her card. She's like this strength, like autonomous, intuitive being. Anyway, what happens is like Demeter gets super upset. She can't see her daughter. She tells Zeus to go get her, you know, and then because Persephone is enjoying her time in the land of the dead, she eats the pomegranate seeds, which is why they're on here, so that she can't leave. Hades has her eat the pomegranate seeds, so she can't leave. So she ends up being able to only return to the world for like, to the land of the living, I think, for 9 months out of the year, and then for 3 months out of the year, she returns back to Hades. And Demeter, being the goddess, that empress figure, the goddess of like abundance and food and nurturing and everything, she leaves, and that's why we have winter and no food and stuff. So, which winter now in some places it's like 9 months here, so it's like reversed. Persephone's like, I don't want to be in the land of the living, like I'm done. Anyway, story. Your 10 of Pentacles is this Page of Wands reversed. That whole message about you being like a Queen of Wands, like fiery energy, wild card kind of person, it's being seen as like a petty message. It's like, it's not the truth. It's just this person kind of grasping at their last straw is what I'm seeing with this Page of Wands reverse. The Chariot reverse indicates, again, this person is stuck in like a major way. And then why? Nine of Pentacles reversed. Because they wanted to do things on their own. Because they wanted to be like, they were using you. This person was using you to like be thinking they had done everything on their own. Yeah. So yeah, again, the 7 of Pentacles. And none of those pentacles are coming to fruition. They're actually in the 7 of Pentacles energy. And they're emotionally and physically and materially like unbalanced. This person might, they're heartbroken. This person might actually be like seriously imbalanced. Like, and if this is a reading for somebody not dealing with anybody else, it's like you might be realizing that by going to therapy, you might be going to therapy and realizing in therapy that like there's a part of you that was more unbalanced than you realized. But this is your 10 of Pentacles, because while it might be heartbreaking or it might be hard to look at, you're looking at it in a very objective way from your like higher self, and you're realizing like, okay, this sort of sucks, but like I can embrace it. Like I can embrace this and work with it because now I know that it's there. Either way, your 10 of Pentacles is here, and the Sun. Yeah, this is like a really good ending for this reading. Either way, like this enlightenment is bringing you a new material, emotional, like super happy future. And all these things here. Yeah, all I can say is it's a good thing you walked away from this person or this version of yourself. It's like the King of Wands reversed is like, it's like a really arrogant, vain, I'm getting like Cusco from The Emperor's New Groove, you know? Like he just thinks that everything that he does is the right thing to do, and that everybody else should be doing what he's doing. And he like gets a wake-up call by becoming a llama and like visiting the village where he was gonna build his summer home and destroy everybody's way of life that has been there for the last like who knows how many thousands of years. Like Cusco vibes. So yeah, you're getting this message that is especially by eclipse season at the end of this month, that is bringing you your 10 of Pentacles, is bringing you happiness, light, joy, a new beginning. And it might take a little while for this to move in the 3D reality. to express itself in a 3D reality, but you're being encouraged to be patient. I'm just gonna pull one oracle card. This was a long reading today, which I'm okay with. If you're still here, please remember to like, subscribe, comment, and share. You can book a personal reading with me on my Etsy if you would like to, and you can donate on my Patreon if you would like to. It's been suggested to me that I should link my Cash App to my YouTube, so I may very well do that in the future. Advice for Scorpios regarding this time of transition, this time of enlightenment, this, oh, so many. Ooh, I love it. Okay. Yeah. You might be 52. You might be 82. You might be 30, 44, 60? Is that the math there? No, 40. 44 or 40. Or 56. Okay, there we go. So, yeah, this is you not entering that doorway again. Stand still. Meditate. This card indicates the need for meditation, for entering into, like, witness consciousness. I think this is you coming out of that, actually. You may have already been in that meditation witness consciousness space, and you're coming out of it. Lightning. I really like this card, especially as it relates to this reading. You can kind of see there's a person in the background there, and their whole body's alight with this, like, lightning energy. It's like you've emptied out this old shell of yourself, and you're renewed with this, like, vitality. Speaking of that energy of, like, Zeus again, Zeus is the god of lightning, right? It's like you've been struck with new inspiration, new life. And you might be feeling the need to communicate, but, like, kind of having, feeling like your expression goes kind of all over the place. A lot like this reading has, actually. It's like, woo, everywhere. But it's concentrating itself, and it's because you've undone this curse, and this curse is related to, like, the fixation of, like, how things are supposed to be, and, like, how they're not working anymore. The hummingbird spirit is medicine people who come to visit in your daily life. They also enjoy, like, sugar water. I'm hearing, like, butterfly gardens also. So the hummingbird is reversed, is saying, like, you've undone this curse, and you're needing to, like, cultivate a space for sweetness in your life, and for pollinators, perhaps, like, plant, like, lavender or rosemary or something like that. Also, you know, you can get a hummingbird feeder. Winter's coming, though, so hummingbirds do migrate. I think there are, on the West Coast at least, I think there are, like, 3 species that overwinter, at least in Washington. The drum. With the moon. So you're being asked to, I think this is an eagle. Yeah. And this drum looks quite like a moon. That is so cool. So you're being asked to move with the rhythms of, like, not only your intuition, but, like, your ancestral knowledge is what's coming through with that one. The hummingbird reversed and the curse reversed. It's like, it's almost like you realized that, especially with that message about two-spirit person, and looking back over the traditions of, like, sexuality in other cultures, and realizing, like, that the way we inhabit these sort of strict gender roles today or have inhabited them is actually more modern than I think we're led to believe quite often. It's almost like you're reinvigorating this more gender fluid like space in your, maybe in your family or your life, like just kind of like exemplifying this in your community in such a way that you're being asked to like move with the rhythms of your intuition, knowing that like the ancestral knowledge of how to do that is like in your DNA. Yeah. The Earth Keeper. Yeah, it's also in relationship to the earth and how we treat it. Embracing this like idea that's coming through about gender roles or how they've been expressed as destructive it's a fundamental piece of why we treat the earth like we do as well. The earth being often like a feminine energy. Modern living exploits her resources. So what you're embracing in yourself, this curse undone, is the undoing of the exploitation of your own vitality, and it's aligned very much with that earth energy. Anything else? Thunder. Lightning and thunder. Inner child healing. The child is asking you to have to see through innocent eyes, to see everything anew, and to also like forgive what has happened, understanding that it was all part of the process of you becoming. Okay, well, thank you for all of those of you who have stuck around this long. Thank you for being here to begin with. I very much appreciate reading for you all, and I hope that this resonated for some of you. Please let me know if you did. Also, I'm giving away a free reading tomorrow. So there's still time for you to comment free reading if you'd like to have a free reading. I will choose a random winner from among those who commented, and I'll post that on YouTube and mention your name privately so that you can see it and others cannot. So I'll announce the winner tomorrow. Anyway, thank you everybody. I will see you tomorrow.